Hi guys, welcome back to Team Talk TV with myself, Daps. Today we have
Michael
and Alex,
and our social media handles come up at the bottom. So yeah, guys, great weekend of football. We're going to get straight into it. First thing we're going to talk about, guys, is defensive partnerships, because over the weekend, obviously, we've seen a lot of good defending, bad defending, but looking at the top teams, we're going to look at who they have at their core.
Okay.
So, who are we saying so far has the most impressive defensive partnership? I'm going to start with Alex.
I'm going to go with Liverpool. Liverpool's defensive partnership to me is the most together. I feel like they understand each other, Van Dijk and Gomez.
Okay.
So it's like, as an Arsenal fan, I have to use this comparative. It's weird because it's so different, but it's similar to me. Like, we had Mertesacker and Koscielny, because it was Mertesacker would like cover Koscielny. Yeah. But with Liverpool, you've got Van Dijk and got Gomez, which they kind of do the same thing, but like they can do each other's jobs as well.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a good dynamic between them. So
okay. Who do we also think could maybe rival them in terms of having the best centre back partnership? Because obviously we've got City with Laporte, Stones. We have United, who have Smalling and Smalling and what's his name?
Lindelof.
Yeah, Lindelof. Arsenal, the horror that is Mustafi and Holding. So who are we actually saying could rival that, or is it literally just as clear as day?
No,
I think you'd say Arsenal out of that, to be honest.
Yeah,
because of stuff.
The best partnership I've felt for the past couple of years has been Alderweireld and Vertonghen. Those two, their cohesion, their way they just naturally know how to defend, but also going forward, scoring goals, creatively going forward, and just the way they help Tottenham operate as a team when they're together. That partnership for the last, for me, 3-4 years has been clear.
Okay.
This is the first season that I've seen that I've been convinced that there's a lot of partnership where I can look and say both defenders can defend, both defenders know their roles within the squad, and they've got a pure
Tottenham still.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And Tottenham and Liverpool. And Liverpool have that kind of partnership now where they have a leader and they have a guy that also knows how to defend, and you can see has potential to be a leader in that defense, because Gomez doesn't look rattled by anyone that he plays.
Yeah. At all.
He's young, and when he came to Liverpool, it took him a bit of time to bed in, and he had two loans, and he had to go and settle. And
obviously he had to find his position. They were putting him right back, they were putting him centre back.
But the fact that he played right back even this season, I think once or twice, shows how much trust they have in him.
Yeah.
In the games where they thought, Alexander-Arnold's good, but he's a bit shaky defensively. We can look at this guy and say, I can put you right back, and we can risk putting Lovren or Matip next to Van Dijk, because we know Van Dijk can make defenders look better than they are when he's next to them.
Okay, and if we're talking on Liverpool, obviously you've mentioned that Liverpool are right now the best defensive partnership. In Virgil van Dijk, have Liverpool found the best centre back in the Premier League?
I'd say so, because he has all the qualities of a centre back at a high level. Like, it's not his heading, amazing, his reading of the game, amazing, his pace, his recovery is all up there, and it's not like he's average. He's average with all these attributes. It's at a high level. If he had one of those attributes and the others, people would still talk about but it's like that. But it's with every aspect of defending.
Okay.
So,
and what do you think he's? Obviously they bought him 75 million, big price tag. Took a while to settle in, but even in that settling in period, he was still impressive.
Yeah.
What do you think he's actually brought to Liverpool to make them as solid as they are?
It's always calming as a team to have someone in the back that's a leader. I think if you talk about the teams that have done well in Premier League history in general, at the back they've got someone where they can look back and say this guy is a leader. I'm not putting him next to the guys yet because he's got some time to go, but if you're talking about Campbell, talking about Rio, talking about Terry, those kind of guys.
You like Terry?
He was he was a good defender, man. He was I think
really
as a person, I never liked him, but real recognize is real. This guy was a fantastic defender, man. He was a fantastic defender, whether people liked it or not. And in Liverpool, like for a long time, they have struggled to find a centre back where they can look and say, I can trust you.
Okay.
And he hasn't been there that long. He's wearing the armband.
So in saying that, what has he got to do, or how long before you put him along? You put him with the likes of Sol Campbell, Rio. Is it literally a thing of consistency or the titles?
Titles.
But what if he continues to play in Liverpool and they challenge but don't win titles?
Leave.
Yeah.
and that's all he can do.
You have to understand that as a top defender, if you're doing, or even as a top player in general, if you're doing so much for the team, but you're not reaping the benefits as in your career, as in collecting trophies, medals, you got to look at your career and say, I can go down as a legend at a club, absolutely, but I want to also be known as a player that won this, that, and that for me is more important than legacy at one club because you were loyal to them. I'd rather look at you and say I rated you because you, as a great defender, helped lead a team to titles or Champions League.
And in saying that, I'm gonna come back to you. But in saying that, looking at the top centre backs in the Premier League history, would you put Ledley King there? Because Ledley King never won no trophies and his career got cut short because of injury. But would you put him up there?
He was a great defender. I wouldn't say top. He was a great defender, but I wouldn't put him next to those guys.
You wouldn't
mainly because I'm an Arsenal fan, but also I feel like there are just like too many defenders ahead of him for me to put him in, like, I don't know, even like top five defenders like of all time.
Ledley King would have made your top 10.
I think I was a fan of Ledley King. I liked him because you could see that, and my only criticism of him was very injury prone. That's the only thing you could say of him, because when he defended, this guy hardly made any mistakes.
Okay, cool. So
but I wouldn't put him up there because.
So right now we're putting Van Dijk as the best in the league. Like, is it head and shoulders above, or is it
I still scream Alderweireld solely because for the part. I mean, I've been a fan of Van Dijk.
Consistency.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Van Dijk since Celtic to Southampton. I mean, I'm not one of those fans that say he played in Scotland, so he's not good, because we've had guys come from like France and Holland where people say these things are not great, and they've come and they've owned the league.
Yeah.
So I've always been a fan of him. But the thing about Alderweireld is, for the last 5 years anyway, for me, when I watch him, the three things that I like are someone that knows how to tackle, the marking, and the positioning. So forget about recovery, because Van Dijk has great recovery, but I don't watch Alderweireld doing recovery. He's there.
Yeah.
You're not getting past him, or if you're coming to that position, he's there waiting for you. That for me is a top defender, because he sees things before they're happening, and he's like, okay, I'm here, approach me. And more often than not, he wins that challenge.
Okay.
And that's why I've put him at that upper echelon for so long. But Van Dijk is now starting to show those characteristics, and then I can start saying, okay, you know what, right now. But on form, of course, he's number one. But
okay, interesting. So we're going to just wrap that up, and we're going to get to the next topic. But yeah, guys, we'll be back straight after this. Guys, welcome back to Team Talk TV. Now we're going to get into our second topic, which is we're going to look at the teams who are undefeated so far in the league. So obviously you've got Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, all undefeated. Who, in you lot's opinion, has been the most impressive out of those? Is it just no-brainer, City? And do you think they can maintain it, or do you think Liverpool have been?
For me, it's City. Because the way they play the game is like a video game. It's like FIFA for them. It's ridiculous. They're doing like 1-2s in the opponent's box. It's like they're playing possession football in the opposition's penalty area and then scoring. It's just.
I find that so pathetic because no, you see what you got to understand is, when you're facing clubs like City and all that, City are a club that crave the football. They need it. That's what Pep's all about. If I have the ball, you are not touching my goal. Simple as that. And when you watch some of these teams, I'll go back to Huddersfield, for example. Obviously, they were going to beat Huddersfield, but
Wolves.
And Wolves got a point against them because Wolves approached them correctly. Yeah. See, now if I'm going to just go for one goal, they got a goal kick, and you see all the Huddersfield players starting to man mark from their goal kick. You got centre forwards going to mark John Stones and I think it was Company in that game, and then they're all spreading apart. And see, I'm not doing anything amazing. This is what they do. They spread apart and they say, okay, we're part from the back and we're going to go. and you literally follow them. Like no one's ever done it before. You follow them, you open up a big gap. One ball goes through the middle from the goalkeeper straight to a goal. He lost keeper 1-0 against Southampton this weekend. If I go off the defending, it's like they're impressive in the sense of how they're putting teams away. They're scoring quality goals, but I can't also scream, "Oh my God, this is fantastic attack." When I'm looking at the defending, I'm saying, "But are you kidding me?"
Would you also say though that looking at how they play, the only reason? So let's say the goal you just mentioned, Huddersfield. Mm-hmm. The only reason why they're able to do that, like you said, is because they were following them about. But they also know that with the caliber of players they have, if they do the whole sitting back thing and allow them to pass it out from the back, it literally just it's the same kind of result.
But I'm not looking for sitting back. Like sitting back is obviously giving them the ball to do what they want, and then hopefully when they come and approach you can hold it off and then clear it away.
Yeah,
it's about structure. It's about okay. The best way for me to describe is how Pep Guardiola says it. In my team, I say if you don't win the ball back within 5 seconds, keep your shape. Go back to your shape. Stick with your structure. Stay how you're supposed to be in formation.
But you have to understand as well, it's very hard to combat that when you're Huddersfield.
No, it's very hard.
So normally
that's just an example.
Like, okay,
I'm
but
using that.
9 times out of 10, would you you can't 9 times out of 10 that long ball isn't happening.
Of course not. Yeah,
that long ball isn't happening. They got caught out with that, and they shouldn't have. But really and truly, how else? I want to come to you now. How else do you expect them to combat that sort of football?
That's what it's because of the reputation that Man City have built over the last couple of years that Pep's been there. That teams have to play like that against them. They have to do something out of the ordinary in their tactics to just stop. Just try to stop what they do. But the thing is, Man City always have an answer for that, and for that alone, it's more. They've been more impressive than the other two teams.
So who do you think out of the other two teams is more likely to sustain a longer challenge or a bigger challenge, or do you think City are just going to run away with it again and none of them are really challenging them?
I said Chelsea winning the league personally.
You think Chelsea win the league?
I've said that from day one.
I don't think so.
I've said that from day one.
Purely because of their defense. Their defense, to me, is the weakest out of the three.
I think, to be honest, I'm with you that I'm not with you that they're going to win the league.
Okay.
I'm with you that Chelsea are their biggest rivals.
Yeah.
Purely because the way Sarri has Chelsea played at this moment. You're right, the defense isn't as strong, but as a team, they're harder to break down than Liverpool. And Liverpool give away a lot of chances.
And what people don't fail to understand is with the football he's trying to play at Chelsea, he needed the key component. That key component was Jorginho.
Yeah.
Big time. The way his signing is so key to their football because people have said how does Kante fit into the system. Kante, even before he joined Leicester, was starting as the right centre mid in France.
Are you a fan of Kante in this more advanced role?
I am.
You are?
I like Kante because I think what has happened with him at Chelsea is year by year you can see he's improved his game. He's elevated it more and more. At Leicester he was a destroyer. At Chelsea first year he was a destroyer. Second year he learned how to now go box to box. Now he's doing the passing. He's learned how to pass different ranges.
So I think he's always said that. Sorry to cut you, but some might say that with Kante playing in this more advanced role, that he's good in terms of the high pressure. He's totally good for it. In terms of the defensive aspects, he's good. But when it comes to the attacking in the final third, it's not an instinct to him.
Of course not.
It's not instinct. So sometimes you see he gets the ball in the edge of the area, and then he's kind of he might not pick. Do you get what I'm saying? Are you a fan of Kante in the advanced role?
Yeah, no, I love Kante, but in the advanced role, I think it's just going to be more of a learning process for him. Even though he has to think about what he does in advanced positions, he's still good at it. But if it gets to a level for him in advanced positions where he's as good as he is defensively, it's a problem.
And you think he can?
I think he can do that.
Absolutely.
I think Kante can do that.
Absolutely.
Okay. You mentioned learning curves, and in terms of learning curves, Raheem Sterling. Has this been the biggest learning curve so far, and has he actually, fulfilled everything plus more that Pep's wanted from him, or do you think that there's still yet to come? There's still more to come for him to reach that next level.
I think he can. I think he can reach a world class there. It's not a surprise to me that who was it that won?
Madrid.
One of them. It's not surprising because the way he contributes to how Man City play is actually key. Because I was one of those people that thought, okay, Sterling's just getting carried in this team. Like there's just so many like attacking players around him. You can't. Like anyone could play there and do well. Yeah. But when you watch Man City without Sterling, it is more of a struggle for them to play the football that they want to play. And it's just like Sterling's just. I love Sterling to bits, man. If I talk about Sterling too much, I'll get a bit emotional. There's a bit politics behind it as well. Yeah. But no, Sterling's class.
What's so impressive about him is his footballing brain. Yeah, the way he knows how to function around the football.
I don't think he gets enough credit for footballing.
At all. You know, a big criticism of him last season was how's he scoring tap-ins, but sometimes he doesn't finish this, he doesn't finish that. But again, for a player playing from his, whether it's the wing or just behind the striker or in front of the striker, the movement, the way he moves around the pitch is so key. You don't get those goals if you don't beat players off the ball. Rather than even on the ball is one thing, but off the ball as well, using that and knowing where to be, when to make the run. Yeah. And his cohesion with whether it's Gabriel Jesus playing, Aguero playing, Bernardo, David Silva, Sane, Mahrez now. He does not struggle when each and every one plays around him.
Is it testament to him that he gets rotated the least out of the attackers?
Yeah, because Pep sees his quality.
Is that down to Pep or more his individual?
It's a bit of both. It's a bit of. I mean, you can see that Pep's training. There's a video, there's been a couple of videos, and then the documentary, obviously. You can see how Pep has got the players thinking in a different way around the pitch of how to do certain things. That's why their football works for them. Yeah, and that's how these guys, he has to maximize the best out of them when he's doing it. But at the same time, as much as he can tell you what to do, you have to go out there and apply it. Yeah, and he applies it to a very high level.
Okay, cool. Well, you know, so I think we're pretty much sold on the fact that Man City. Oh no, you think Chelsea are gonna win the league?
I've said that from day one.
Guys, let us know what you think about Michael's view that Chelsea will win the league. And we'll be back straight after this with Start Sub Sell. Guys, welcome back to Team Talk TV. Don't forget to keep hashtagging Team Talk TV and to subscribe to everything. Like, we're ready for the next segment, which is Start Sub Sell, Triple S, everyone's favourite bit. Today we have Rio Ferdinand, Cannavaro, what's it, Fabio Cannavaro, isn't it? Yeah. Fabio Cannavaro and Alessandro Nesta. I'm going to start with Alex. I'm going to start with Alex. Rio starts, sub or sell. Cannavaro starts, sub or sell, or Nesta. Which one?
I'm selling Rio. And that's tough. It's tough for me. Like, even as I'm saying it doesn't sound right, but I think I have to sell Rio. Because it's nothing to do with what he lacks for me. It's just more like how elite Fabio Cannavaro and Nesta are. I feel like, actually I've made my list in my head just now. I think I'm going to start Cannavaro, some Nesta, and sell Rio. Because of how, purely because Fabio Cannavaro's leadership qualities over the team. Even then, it's like it's my level.
You don't think it's hard?
You don't think it's that hard?
No, but we'll come to me in a sec. Like, who would you start sub or?
This is difficult one. I'm sticking with my freedom.
You know, the only reason I'd think of selling Rio is only because it took him a long time. Not that long, but it took him longer to naturally become a top defender. Whereas, Cannavaro, his leadership, Italy, 2006, he was untouchable, man. The guy was unstoppable in that centre back position. He was phenomenal domestically.
So are you basing it off the World Cup?
No, overall. Overall, he was just that whole season. Even previous seasons, he was still very, very solid. But that year, he was just unreal.
So who are you starting or subbing or selling?
But then Nesta. Oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna start Nesta. I'm gonna sub Cannavaro. Marcelo Rio, my boy.
You know, you know.
Nah, you know what. Okay, I'll put my mind up now. Sorry, I'll put my mind up now. Okay, this is what I'm doing. Cannavaro starts, Rio sub, Nesta out.
Okay.
Put my mind up.
If you get
Cool.
yeah, it doesn't matter which order you put in. I'm still gonna be like a bit tense about it.
Okay.
You say it's not hard.
Me personally, it's no brainer. Rio for me is top. I start Rio all day.
Oh, really?
Long. Start Rio all day long. And then start Rio, sub Nesta.
Okay. And get rid of Cannavaro.
Get rid of Cannavaro.
Why?
Get rid of
I want to hear
Cannavaro.
this one, bro.
For me, Cannavaro he had a good career, but he had an amazing 2-3 years.
Okay.
He had an amazing 2-3. Whereas Nesta was literally amazing throughout the whole career.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's true.
So, in terms of Rio, I disagree with you that Rio was it took him long because West Ham he had promise, but at Leeds he was a madness. It's no coincidence that at that time United shelled out 13 million from him.
The only thing I think he bloomed late on was his concentration and his marking. That one for me, I thought he was a bit shaky, and then obviously he got better.
Yeah, but if you look at Cannavaro's early years, he also struggled with. He was always good at reading the game, but he always used to get beaten like in behind. That was his weakness. The older he got, the more he learned to deal with that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay,
so
yeah.
everyone, because with defenders, it's very rare that you get a defender that is class from the get-go.
Yeah.
But Rio was class from a very young age. Number one. Number two, he led United through, arguably one of the most greatest eras.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah.
So, for me, it's a no-brainer. Rio. So, let me just wrap this up very quickly. You're starting,
I'm starting Cannavaro,
selling
Rio,
Rio.
and also Nesta. So,
I was starting Nesta. No, I saw Nesta, didn't I?
yeah.
Yeah. I started Cannavaro, sub Rio, and Nesta's out.
Okay, guys, let us know who you will start, sub, and sell. Hashtag TeamTalkTV. We're going to come straight back after this. Guys, welcome back to TeamTalkTV. We're going to get into the weekend fixtures. I think there's only one place to really start with this and to finish, to be honest, which is the big one, Manchester Derby. So you're a Man United fan, aren't you?
I am.
So I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Manchester, where is it?
City.
It's at City?
Yeah.
It's at the Etihad.
It is at the Etihad.
Let's see how fun.
Can you see yourself getting anything from the game?
You know what? Funny enough, I can. And it's one of those ones where I don't think if people actually realise the two teams that people expect to spin us the most are Liverpool and City.
Yeah.
And recently, our record against them hasn't been too bad. Truth be told.
And I remember when they wanted to win the league against you guys last year.
Exactly.
And
And when it was
a formality.
When it was 2-0, even myself, I thought this game is done. And then City fans will tell you the main reason why they hate Man United is because when the times when they used to beat Man United every now and then, it didn't mean anything. And then on this occasion, this moment where they dreamt about this kind of moment, winning the league and destroying United was their moment. And when it was 2-0, if you watch the documentary, it was the shirts being printed, we done it on Derby Day and all that stuff. That's why Mourinho got excited. It was like, okay, remember you said you recorded that? Give me a shirt and then I won't take him in loyalties or anything like that. That was their day for them, and then they bottled it. And that's been the history between the two clubs more than anything. That's part of their hatred for us. So I feel like to be honest, I don't see any reason why we can't go there and get a result.
Yeah.
But again, at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if we got absolutely slapped.
Okay, I'm going to come back because you haven't even answered the question. Who do you think is winning the Manchester Derby?
I'm saying City. I'm saying City because
Convincingly.
City convincingly because just the quality they have, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me that I don't see a game that they can't win. But the only hindrance to me is that Jose Mourinho just knows how to get something out of these games.
I mean, it come out today that Sterling and David Silva are injured, so I mean they're not really, but you see how you're not really happy.
Bad guy.
I just looked at him. He's like, yo.
So, how do you think? Can you lot, like, in what area do you see them being weak? Because to be totally honest with you, as much as they play good football, you can get at them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of the reason why a lot of teams don't really get at them is because the few moments they have the ball, they're not potent enough to actually make it count. So do you think you guys, obviously what you do when you don't have the ball is really important.
Yes.
And obviously if you go with Rashford, Martial's in great form right now. And to be honest, I think Martial will get the better of Kyle Walker all day long.
Absolutely.
So do you like is that maybe where you see
that's where I was going to go. Kyle Walker for me in that defense is the weak link. And I think he's the guy to be beaten. And the funny enough, a lot of United attacks come from the left anyway. So that's the place to win it. To answer the question, I think we'll get a result.
Do you think you win though, or just a draw?
Win.
Do you think you win?
Sneak it 2-1.
If Lukaku's on the pitch, you're losing.
Lukaku, I have a god that is very, very potent. He will not start.
So okay. On this, like, we've spoken about Lukaku before, yeah. But
okay.
Right. I'm of the view that Lukaku, he needs to be on the bench for a while. Not a while, but he needs to just be on the bench. But he's not finished. Because like I think that the general rhetoric is that Lukaku's done. They don't want to see him again. Do you share that view, being a United fan?
I mean, right now I'm very, very fed up with him. Very fed up because it's his general play in general. Forget about just the lack of goals at the moment, because he's always been a goal scorer in his career. But right now, his general play is just very, very bad.
But is that
very bad?
How much of that also has got to do with the fact that he didn't have a pre-season? He didn't have a pre-season. He came back tired. You know, he came back overweight. Like, he hasn't actually been given a chance to actually really have a rest and then build that fitness back up. And you can tell by the way he's moving.
But that's the big thing for me, being overweight. I mean, as a footballer, the one thing you're told, or you have to do anyway, is try to keep fit. So, you know, you can see in the images that have been posted on social media recently and all that stuff, you can see the change from last season to now, how he's really bulked up, whether it's muscle or fat. He's big. He's really big. And at Everton, you could see that he had this guy he had a nice slim build, but he was strong. And the way he beat defenders, he always said it. He said in Jerry Carragher in the interview, he said, if I take this touch on my left foot and I ride my back against you, you're finished. He told him, and then Carragher done a one-on-one with him. He'd be straight. Carragher scored. As a tutorial.
Okay, cool.
No, but that's a tutorial, isn't it? So
we have to wrap that bit up. Okay, but we're going to talk about Lukaku, like another one.
Okay,
don't worry.
All right,
and we'll get you back with that one.
Okay.
But also talking about weekend fixtures, Arsenal Wolves. Obviously, Arsenal good form right now. Great result against Liverpool last week. Who do we think?
Arsenal.
You think Arsenal?
Arsenal.
I think Arsenal will win, but Wolves will make it hard for us.
Wolves will make it hard for you.
They'll make it hard for us for sure.
Okay, we have one of our producers telling us to run. Like, I think he's just annoyed, just United and whatever. But yeah, guys, that's it for this week's Team Talk TV. But make sure you subscribe and like and share and comment and all of that. And remember the hashtag Team Talk TV. See you next week. Guys, thank you for watching our video this week. Remember, please subscribe, share, comment, like, and watch all our other videos, including this one there, that one there. But remember, press the subscribe button. Team Talk TV.